What's going on, everybody? It's your boy NARAKIOUS over here at NARAKIOUS Gaming, and today I got a special division video for you guys. Alright, before we get started, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and let's get into it. Now, it's been a while. It's been almost 2 updates since I've made a recalibration video. Now, the reason that I'm bringing this recalibration video into 1.5 because you know what, the division has dramatically increased new players, and sadly but true, there are players that do not know how to recalibrate their gear, and there are people that have just been away from the division for a while and things has changed. You know, we are now rolling with toughness. When they last left, it was called health. You know, skill power is pretty much balanced. When they last left, skill power was very dominant. You know, tactician builds was once a thing, shotgun build was once a thing, and kind of still, you know, if you know what you're doing, it still is. So with this recalibration video, I'm going to go in full depth and fully explain what needs to be where and why, and just full blown on detail. Okay, I'm not gonna cut any corners, so this video can be a little lengthy. All right, it's just me and Papa OG. All right, he's been through some things. War, I seen things I can't talk about. War would change any man. Nah, I'm just playing. But anyway, let's get right into it. All right, when recalibrating your gear, I want you to ask yourself, what kind of build am I looking for as a player? Now, that's very important because due to the fact a lot of people go on YouTube and try to see what gear set is popping, like what's going on, what's the new meta, and how can I get my gear to look like that guy's gear. I'm here to tell you right now, you can imitate somebody else's gear all you want. This recalibration table is all busied up, so I'm gonna go back upstairs. You can imitate somebody's gear all you want, but the bread and butter of anybody's gear, it's in the character. Now, in the character is where you see your weapon stats, your armor mitigation, your critical hit chance, your critical hit damage. If you do not know what that person's stats look like, trust me, you could be setting up yourself for failure, and you probably could totally mess up your gear all in the same process. All right, the recalibration table is located at the 2nd floor in your base operation, and also for those of you that do not know, or if you already know, just for sake, you have a second recalibration table where I just came from in the terminal. Now, first thing that I like to do, I like to start off with my gear completely empty. So first thing we're gonna do, we are going to completely wipe the gear out clean. Okay, and we're not going to use this gear because this is a gear that I already pre-made, my Banshee build. If you guys want to see this build and the character stats on this build, I'll leave a link to that build in the description below. So for today's demonstration, we are going to use the striker set piece. Okay, I have a lot of this sitting in my stash, so I said, you know what, you guys are going to be the demonstration. So we are going to put all striker on right now. No mods, straight striker. Okay, take off backpack. At this point, I don't care what gloves I use because, like I said, this is all learning purposes right now. Okay, boom, we did it. Here's how you need to look when building your gear. The reason why I say that is because now you know your raw stats. Okay, this is my raw stats. This is with no mods, no roll, no nothing, etc. No, I lied. The only thing that is rolled that I do not have is my knee pads. Okay, so but that's not, you know, that's not really making a major difference. My knee pads are rolled. These are only knee pads that I have of striker. So this is the first thing on me that is actually rolled. Okay, but all in all, this is basically raw stats right here. 335 primary DPS, 209 toughness, and 134 skill power. Firearms is 5,921, stamina is 3,818, electronics is 3,833. Now, before you go into your gear and start playing around and start recalibrating and just doing stuff, you need to understand what it is exactly that you need. If I look up top at my base stats, okay, obviously out of all 3 stats, my toughness is low. So that's going to be my main priority as of right now. Not through the whole build, but as of right now, Toughness, I need to get that up. But before I even touch the toughness, the next step I'm going to do is go into my character. Okay, first thing you need to go over to is your survivability. That's where you need to start off with. Here's my toughness. As you can see, it's also letting me know my max health. My max health is sitting at 120. That's a lot of damn health for a little bit of toughness. Just letting you know, okay? Now, armor mitigation is already at 42.5. So I don't have that long to go to get it, you know, anywhere within 54 to 55. It's really good armor mitigation. If you can get it to 56 or something like that, yo, good luck to you. You know what I mean? You golden. But I usually stay around the 54, 55. I've got it to like 55.8. That's the highest I ever got my armor mitigation. And I've never really tried to surpass that, but I'm sure I can. But this is where you need to go. Your survivability is very important. These are the stats right now that you need to focus on, okay? So your armor mitigation and your toughness is what we're going to work on. All right. Now, first things first, chest piece. Chest piece is all dependent on what you want. This chest piece right here is a mediocre, pretty decent chest piece, not the best chest piece. Reason why: the base armor is sitting pretty decent, but it can come a lot higher. Second reason, it's a stamina chest piece, which is great, but the stamina roll on it, it's a little on the low side. All right, we're barely pushing just a little bit over 1200. You can get this at 1265, 1243, or you can get it at 1272, which is the max, and that is perfect. Now, the major attributes to the minor attributes, very important. Now in the 1.5, you need 48% to 50% ammo capacity on your chest piece or your backpack, okay? It's very important that you have the ammo capacity due to the fact that gun battles are more often happening in the 1.5 like never before. So ammo has become more of a big asset, okay? And for those of you guys that have been gone or new to the division, they no longer do the backpack thing. When you could put on the police backpack and you can double up your ammo or even triple up your ammo, that is gone. No longer works, okay? FYI. But on this chest piece, we have 10% exotic damage resilience, 5,000 plus health, and of course the ammo capacity. All right, comparing this to another chest piece that I picked up, we're going to put them side by side so you guys can see the difference. Obviously, the one on the left is the one that I select. The one on the right is the one that I have equipped. Okay, now if you guys are looking at this and you guys are saying, wow, both chest pieces are really good, which you are correct. Here's where I'm going to tell you the difference in the chest piece and where it comes down to what type of player you are. If you are a PvE only type of player, the chest piece on the left would be a very ideal chest piece for you, or a PvP player. It doesn't matter, but I'm talking specifically if PvE is all you do. And the reason why I say that is because you have 7% damage to elites on there with 6,000 plus health and 48% ammo capacity with 1235 stamina, which is a great chest piece. Okay, this is a pretty much mid kind of max chest piece right here. You would roll the health off and put armor. Reason why: armor feeds into your toughness and stamina. Okay, health is not a big necessity because you're a PvE player, and it's kind of different from the ads and fighting ads and players at the same time. The 7% damage to elites is going to help you take down the NPCs a whole lot quicker. Now moving over to the right, the one that I have equipped, this comes with 10% exotic damage resilience and 5,000 health. With the DZ in the meta, electronics has found its way back into the game, which is not a bad thing at all because it's still balanced and it's still fun as hell. But there are a lot of strong talents in the game right now. You have people running strong fire turrets, people running strong shock turrets, or people running strong seeker mine. And majority of the time you're going to see fire or seeker mine, or damn it, you might see all three of them in one group. Okay, 10% exotic damage resilience is where I would go with. So I would roll health off because of the meta and just how the DZ is. I'm a PvP player 100% to the heart and soul, so I'm definitely rolling health off. So that's the first thing we're gonna do. We're gonna roll our chest piece, and we're going to roll health off, okay? Alright, I definitely didn't get armor on that one, and shit. Come on, let's get it. Give me armor, come on, come on. Boom. Now this is definitely, I could definitely get a higher armor roll, okay? Because as you can see, the max armor roll is 1,263. These are all your possible recalibrations, okay? As you can see, you can get 8% damage resistance, damage to elites, 8% protection from elites, 5% health on kill, and 6,000 health. Now, depending on what kind of player you are and what you're looking for, I don't advise you to pick any of those on that list unless your chest piece already comes with God roll and it already has armor on it. And if you want to change something out for something like if they gave you kill XP, then that's the only time I will substitute it for something else besides armor, but only if your chest piece already has armor. If it does not have armor, armor in the 1.5 is a main stat. It's a must have at all costs. Remember that, okay? So we roll this. Of course I can get it higher, but we're not gonna do that right now. We're just gonna move on. So now we have our chest piece. Our chest piece is rolled. As you can see, my toughness went up. All right, it jumped up, and also my armor on my chest piece went up also. Now this is without mods. All right, keep that in mind. Still room for improvement. So next we are going to move to our face mask. Very important, very critical right here. Base armor on this mask is 935. It is rolled for electronics. If I was building a skill build, this mask will be considered a god roll. Mid max on the electronics, but technically almost a god roll. All right, but it's mid max. It's not a god roll. I take that back because the armor is pretty low and electronics is pretty low, so it's not a god roll, but it's a really good mask. It's a decent mask. All your masks need to look like this, no matter what you are building. If you're building an electronics mask, if you're building firearms, toughness, hybrid, your masks need to always resemble this mask, due to the fact that you're getting the 3.5 critical hit chance and you are also getting the enemy armor damage. Very, very important. All right, reason why the enemy armor damage is so important, because it plays a factor with destructive, and it plays a factor in the PvP, and it also plays a factor with the NPCs. So that's a must-have stat, and of course you need the critical hit chance to help you. Now also, this gear set, when you're rocking 3 sets, you also get 10% enemy armor damage on top of that. All right, so automatically you're gonna be melting. Okay, now I'm not building an electronics build, so I'm definitely gonna be re-rolling this for stamina. Before we do that, let's take a look at the other mask that I have to show you the difference. The one on the left is the one that I selected. The one on the right is the one that I have equipped at this time. Both of them have enemy armor, but where one shines, one doesn't. The one on the left comes with health. The one on the right, you obviously see it, critical hit chance. The one on the left has higher armor. The one on the right has less armor. The one on the left has high firearms, obviously, and the one on the right has electronics. Now, obviously, the one on the left, it would have been a perfect mask had it would have had critical hit chance. This is what a mid-max mask looks like, the one on the left. But you have a choice. Do you want to roll 3.5 critical hit chance, or do you want to roll your firearms to stamina, depending on what you want, because you cannot put armor on your mask. So we're going to stick with the one on the right just for this right now, and I'm going to roll the electronics for stamina. All right, we're going to roll the electronics and we're going to roll that bad boy for stamina. Okay, let's get it. Okay, we got stamina. Obviously I can get a higher stamina than this, and you know what, I'm actually going to roll it one more time to see if we can get higher stamina. Let's see what we can do. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Whoa. I mean, I can't make this up. I cannot make this up. look to the right. Look at the highest you can get on all your rolls on stamina firearms. It's 1,272 is the highest. We just rolled for 1,260. Now, lesson learned right here. You can get greedy depending if you have the funds like your boy and roll it till you get the 272. One thing that I've learned that I've been playing the Division since day one, this game doesn't play fair. When the game feels like you're very close to maxing out your gear, you are going to blow through your money, alright? You're going to blow through your credits, I'm telling you. Like, if we continue to roll this match right now, we're probably going to get this match up to probably 5 to 20. I got a match that's like at 30 million right now. So, word to the wise, if you're pushing 1.5 million to almost 2 million, scratch that mask, put it on, look for a new one, and just rinse and repeat, alright? But this is a good roll, so I'm happy with that. So boom, let's look at our stats now. My toughness went up again. We're sitting at 217. I'm at 278 right now. All right, just with 2 rolls, and I'm not even don't even have mods on right now. So now our chest piece is stamina, our face mask is stamina. Now primary DPS went down a little bit. No, it hasn't. It hasn't went down because our face mask was always health. We rolled armor, and our face mask, no, our chest piece was health, and we rolled armor. Face mask was electronics. We rolled stamina. My knee pads, like I told you in the beginning, is already been rolled. It already has armor on it, and this right here is a pretty decent knee pad. What would have made this knee pad a god knee pad, basically a god roll, had it would have had enemy armor damage? And let me show you. See, like these knee pads right here. Look at this stat. This is a god roll basically. I have 11% enemy armor damage, which the highest you can get is 12, but the stamina is 1,271. The max is 272, and I got that on the second roll. So, you know, I'm Gucci. Like I told you, if it comes with armor, then you basically go where you need more help in your build. So this is already rolled, so we're gonna skip past the knee pad. Now we're gonna go towards the book bag. As you can see, since I rolled my face mask from electronics, my skill power went down. My skill power was a lot higher in the beginning of the video. You can even rewind the clip to see where my skill power was sitting at. I don't remember exactly, but it dropped. So now we are going to go to the backpack. Specialized backpack has become the new go-to backpack in the 1.5 due to the fact of the talent. All right, and this helps people who are not benefiting their skill power, who are not basically paying attention to their skill power as much as a skill build or a hybrid build player would be. All right, if you're just a person who loves your primary DPS and your toughness, and there are some builds that's the way you have to go. Like in the 1.2 days, people didn't really care about skill powers unless you was full on tanktician. Other than that, your primary DPS was high and your health, which is now toughness, was sitting pretty decent, while your skill power sat around like 98k. And it's kind of the same thing now, but you kind of hurt from that. You know, you don't get your skills back as quick, and things take longer to get them back, like your pulse, your overheal. So you kind of might want to watch that. All right, now the reason why people like the specialized backpack, it speaks for itself. Talent adds 200% of firearms to stamina and skill power. This book bag is one of the best book bags you can get in the 1.5 right now, like hands down. It goes with any build, and if you get the right rolls on it, you're golden. Now I have a bunch of these, and I'm going to use this one for demonstration purposes. Major attribute is 949. I love it. Comes with nice armor already rolled on it. And the minor attribute, I would prefer ammo capacity, but it gives me 60% disrupt resistance, so I'm just gonna have to take that. You know, it is what it is. Take that punch on the chin. But you want to get ammo capacity on your backpack. Seeing that my toughness is still low, we are gonna roll this from 12,000 firearms, and we're gonna roll this to stamina. Okay, now mind you, I'm gonna let you know now, my DPS is gonna take a hurting after I roll this backpack, due to the fact that the firearms is at 1,200. But once I roll this, my DPS is going to drop, but it is what it is. Your toughness in a 1.5 and armor mitigation, survivability is like a must go to in the 1.5. So you want to be able to survive. Even though you're putting out a lot of damage, you want to survive. Now, unless you want to go glass cannon, then it's totally up to you. You don't too much have to worry about your toughness. You know, I can actually get my toughness up to 300 plus K right now just with the use of mods. If this right here is fine to you, then leave it like this. Slap mods on this baby, your best mods that you have, supporting your toughness with armor, and go try your luck. Okay, now before we do this, we haven't done this in, like, we already rolled 3 things already, well 2, but let's just say 3, and we haven't looked at our character. So before we roll our backpack, the next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna look into the character. So we're gonna go over and we're gonna go straight into survivability. All right, where's survivability? Boom. Armor mitigation went up. We're sitting at 47.4. Still have a lot of work to do. My max health went up. It was at 120. We're at 146. Okay. Toughness also went up. So we're slowly climbing that ladder, but we have a lot of work ahead of us. All right. We still have a lot of work to do. So let's get right into it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to roll this backpack for stamina. All right. Some of you guys in the comment section might say, no, don't do it, but we're going to do it. So we're going to go to backpack. All right, this is it right here. And yeah, here it is. We're going to roll this. And we're going to get stamina. Ooh. And you want to look at the list. Don't just pick automatically, because sometimes firearms will look like stamina will look like firearms to me. And one time it was like a god roll, like the max you can get, and I accidentally picked the wrong stat and I was pissed. And let's just say that book bag got deleted probably 3 rolls after that. All right, but this is a good one right here. So we're gonna get that, slap that bad boy on. Now, can I get higher than this? Of course, I definitely get higher than this, but we're not gonna push the situation. Okay, we're just gonna keep it moving. And let's look. Boom, look at that. Toughness is sitting at 337. Now, I told you my primary DPS was going to go down a little bit, and also my firearms took a little hit. Not too worried about it though. We still sitting pretty nice on the primary DPS, and firearms is still looking gorgeous. Okay, now your toughness is starting to look bright. All right, we're starting to see some daylight over here. Your stamina even went up. Okay, and your skill power is still fairly okay, so you're not doing too bad right now. We're doing pretty good. I think we're doing pretty good right now. Okay, so we've rolled our chest piece, we rolled our face mask, we're gonna say we rolled our knee pads, and now we just rolled our backpack. Okay, let's go back into the character. Let's take a look at something. We're gonna go into survivability. Where is it? All right, so max health is 1,077. Toughness went up. Armor mitigation is still at 47.4. We're gonna get that up. We gotta get that up. Okay, and yeah, okay, so now gloves. These gloves, oh, I guess I lied twice. These gloves was rolled. I didn't think they was rolled, but these are the kind of gloves that you basically want to have. Okay, you want to have your gloves anywhere from the 970 armor, base armor, and up. And then you always want your gloves to be firearms, depending on what kind of build you have going on. But my opinion and my choice, I always like my gloves to be firearms. Okay, always. Now, depending on what gun you're using, you always want to make sure you have that attribute in that slot. So if you're using SMG, you would want SMG damage. I'm using assault rifle. I love assault rifles, so assault rifle damage is a must-have all the time on my gloves. Critical hit damage and also critical hit chance, you cannot go wrong. I basically don't need to explain that. You know why you need those. Okay, so you need to get those wherever you can, especially the critical hit chance. All right, so very, very important that your gloves right here. And the Savage gloves are very good gloves because they always giving you that 7% critical hit chance against targets out of cover. You're always getting that. That's a talent that's always going to be active, which is very good because that's just a raw talent that's always there. You don't need to pop a skill to activate it. It's there no matter what. So these are very, very good gloves. And I have another pair of gloves. As you can see, this one has pistol damage, but it also has assault rifle damage, which I rolled that on it. The firearms is 1263. All right. Now these gloves are better than these gloves. Now, I can sacrifice primary DPS and put these gloves on, and I could gain. I always look at it with the rule of thumb. I mean, if I see 3 green lights and 1 negative, then that's 3 positives and 1 negative. But it all depending on the player. And you're getting more armor, okay? Plus, I'm getting more firearms, all right? But I'm losing a little bit more DPS, so it depends on what do I want to do. But I'm also losing critical hit chance because, see, at the 3rd slot on my major attribute, I have critical hit chance. Let's do this so I don't have to go back and forth. See, the one on the left, I have pistol damage. All right. Now, how often do you use your pistol? Are you a guy that uses your pistol to finish a lot of people off? Then the one on the left would be the go-to gloves. But if you don't use your pistol, you don't use your secondary, however you want to call it, that often, then the right one would be your right choice. So for purposes right now, we're gonna stick with the one on the right, okay? Even though the one on the left is giving me straight green, yes, I technically would go with that and just build my DPS off mods, but just for learning sakes, we're just gonna stick with the ones we have equipped already. All right. Next, we got our holster. Your holster needs to look like this or better, hands down. Hands down. All right. 1,259 firearms, 1,255 stamina, 1,251 electronics. Okay, this holster is the reason why my toughness, why my firearms, and why my skill power is still sitting so pretty. Okay, these triple stats is so beneficial to your gear. If you have anything that does not look similar like this or better, then you need to start looking for a new holster. Okay, your build still has room to improve. Now, if you're sitting here, well, what would you roll on this, NARAKIOUS? All right, what would you roll on this holster? Good question. What do I need? I can roll for more skill power, you know, if I want it there. I can roll for a little bit more toughness if I want it there, and I could roll for a little bit more firearms if I want it there. But guess what? Survivability in 1.5 is key. So what I would do, I would see how much I would get. Remember, your armor goes into your toughness now. Okay, so let's see how high the roll is on your holster for armor. Let's go into armor. So the max is 673. We're sitting at 668. In my opinion, I would not roll this because the game is, I'm telling you, listen, the game is not gonna give it to you. Well, from my experience, the game will not give it to me if I roll this. So that would be a waste of a roll of a good holster. Sometimes I leave the holster just the way it is because it really doesn't need to be touched unless I choose to. Now, the max for all your main stats is always going to be 1,272. I can roll my firearms for that because we can definitely get some more. We can definitely get some more stamina. We can definitely get more electronics. Now, seeing that my triple stats are sitting pretty decently high, I don't feel like the game is going to give it to me, so I'm not going to touch the holster, okay? We're basically done now. I'm not touching anymore. This is it. This is the build. All right, so we're done. Recalibration is done and over with. I'm just going to move from upstairs because that lady's going to keep coming in the way and she's going to piss me off. So now we're going to come downstairs. Here are your new stats. This is the new raw stats we're working with, okay? This is it. This is your new raw stats. Now, before we go and add in mods, I'm going to tell you something else real quick. Quick sidebar. The talents on your weapon plays a factor, okay? It plays a major factor. And I'm going to show you exactly why. Talents on your gun increases your primary DPS. So if you guys are wondering how my DPS is still sitting so proper and I've rolled 2 firearms off already is due to the fact that I have certain talents on my gun which compensates for that, okay? I'm rocking brutal. This is strictly for headshots. This is going to give you 12% headshot damage when using this weapon at all time. It does not require you to pop a skill or any sort. This is raw damage every single time you aim for the head. Also, vicious. Now vicious, it only activates when you are sitting at full health. Critical hit chances increase by 10% while having more than 2 segments of health. So basically, if you have more than 2 segments, so I'm gonna say full health, all right? If you're missing that first bar of your second to the right, if you look on my screen, you see the little orange bar. If that first bar is gone, that skill is not longer active. And that's my problem with vicious. I don't like that they did it like that. It needs to be raw talent, but that would be too OP. Destructive is a must-have talent on your gun. Armor destructive value is increased by 15% when using this weapon. This is a must-have talent. If you don't have this on your gun in the 1.5, you sleep, bruh. You totally sleep. You need this on your gun, okay? So that's just a quick little, just to put you on game about some stuff right now, but we're not gonna get too deep into that. So here we go. Now let's add the mods onto the gear and let's get ready to wrap this bad boy up. So one thing that I like to do, I like to put my mods on gears that I use all the time, so that way I don't have to keep going to my stash and look for gear. Even so, then you might need to, but we're not gonna do that because that's gonna take too much time. So basically what we're gonna do, I'm gonna snatch mods off gears that I already used on my previous build, which is the Banshee build that you saw in the beginning of the video, and we're gonna add it on there. Okay, now I know you're looking at this and like, damn, why don't you add this chest piece? I definitely can add this chest piece, but like I said, this is just for learning purposes as of right now. So what I'm gonna do, we're gonna snatch the mods off of here. This is the firearms. No, I'm sorry, that's that's firearms, and this is also firearms, but with armor on it. And we're gonna go up here and we're gonna add, no, here's what I'm sorry, I did something wrong. Now here's where you benefit your gear. You look at what you need. Your toughness is still not sitting pretty, okay? So of course we need to get it up. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna add, which is one of my highest mods that I have for this right now. Boom, we're gonna add this. This was a firearm mod. It came in at 261 for stamina and it costs 271 for armor. When I put that on, I jump up to 360. All right, we have another slot, so we can add we could go anywhere we want to go. We can benefit from skill power, or we can go primary DPS and toughness, or primary DPS and skill power. It's up to you. Me, I'm not done, so I prefer to get my toughness a lot more higher. So we're gonna put another one, 271, 261 on it. Boom, and we're sitting at 383. Now on my mask, what I like to do, this is where I like to benefit from the firearms, and I like to just just live a little bit. So I will find the best mod that I have for firearms, which this one comes with pretty decent armor but pretty low firearms, and this one actually is pretty good. Let's see which one's better. See, this one's is high firearms but kind of somewhat low firearm armor, but let's put that on and see what happens. And then what I like to do, I like to scroll down, you see. So this one is actually better than the one I have equipped, so then I'm going to equip this one, but it's actually not even going to touch my toughness. It's going to increase the skill power, so we're going to do that. Boom. That's where I'm sitting at right now. Still got room. We still have 2 more slots for major mods, and then everything after that is your prototype. So on your knee pad, it's totally up to you. You can even put a skill haste. See, I have room to play. I can put a skill haste if I want to, but I would prefer to put a stamina with skill haste if I'm going to do that move. So on here, it's all about survivability, and I'm going to go ahead and I can put that mod on with the high armor, and it's going to give me more firearms. Remember, this is a striker build. Striker build, you want to, if you guys know striker, you know what it is. So for learning purposes, I'm gonna choose, me as a player, I'm gonna put firearms on it, but I can also put more toughness and more armor on it if I also choose to. So we're gonna put that on there. Okay, Next we have a backpack. The backpack is the last thing that we can put a mod on. So what we're going to do, we are going to benefit from stamina, and obviously this is not the best mods. I have better mods, and this is just for learning purposes, guys. Okay, so please don't go crazy in the comment section below. I'm gonna throw this on there, boom, and there we go. And obviously these are your prototype mods. What I would like to do, I would put pulse critical hit on that, due to the fact that it just gives you more crit hit damage. And what I'm gonna do, I'm actually gonna finish this build once I'm done with this video, and I'm gonna make another video of this entire build, and we're gonna go into the full character stats and everything like that. But this is basically it. This is the full recalibration of the gear. Okay guys, this is it. This is where we sitting at. Now if you guys remember where we started from to where we're sitting at, this is how you want to re-roll your gear. And yeah, this is basically it. This is what I go through every time I re-roll my gear. It's a lot more cleaner, a lot more smoother for me, because like I said, I've been playing the Division since the day of release, the day of beta. So I've been around for a very long time. Trust me, I would not steer you guys in the wrong direction, but I also take good to positive criticism in the comment section below. You know, if you guys feel like I did something different or I could have did something better, please leave it in the comment section below. But if you found this recalibration video more than helpful, please leave a like and also subscribe to the board channel. All right, I truly appreciate all you guys, man. I do this to help you guys, and I truly appreciate all the love and support. And I'm gonna see you when I see you in the dark zone. It's your boy NARAKIOUS, and I hope you enjoyed yourself. All right, I'm gonna see you when I see you. Peace.